Hey everyone! Today I'm summarizing Rebecca's Tale by Sally Beauman. It's just my take and includes major spoilers. If you haven't read it, watch this first. Book links in the description, let's dive in. The book is divided into 4 parts. Julian, Gray, Rebecca, and Ellie. Rebecca is the first wife of Maxim de Winter. She lived at Manderley, a beautiful estate owned by the de Winters for centuries. In the first part, Colonel Arthur Julian, Rebecca's dear friend, narrates that he has been haunted by guilt for not protecting Rebecca after her death, even though he suspected that Rebecca's husband, who was also his friend, killed her. He kept silent. 20 years later, still haunted, he decides to investigate how Rebecca died so he can be free from guilt, and Rebecca can finally rest in peace, since there are rumors that she haunts Manderley. Besides recalling what it was like in Manderley when he was younger and what Rebecca was like, he discovers nothing. He also receives a parcel containing Rebecca's notebook, which is empty except for 2 photos, one of Rebecca as a child and another of Manderley. He seeks the help of Terence Gray, a visitor at Kerith who has been investigating Manderley and Rebecca's death. Since Arthur has become sickly, he eventually trusts Gray and relies on his findings. The second part is narrated by Terence Gray, whose real name is Tom Galbraith. He discovers several things about Rebecca but still cannot figure out how she died. By talking to Frith, a Manderley butler, and Flavel, Rebecca's cousin, he learns a few details about her. Rebecca was raised by her mother, Isabel, real name Isolde, who later died in childbirth. Rebecca then moved in with her father Devlin, who died in a horse riding accident. Gray's most significant discovery is that he is Rebecca's younger half-brother. Their mother died when he was born, and Mrs. Danvers sent him to an orphanage, with Rebecca unaware of this until 11 years later when Danvers confessed it. His father might have been an actor Isolde worked with and had a brief relationship with. The third part is narrated by Rebecca de Winter. Another parcel is delivered to Julian, a notebook containing Rebecca's diary, but his daughter Ellie keeps it from him because he is still sick. Ellie eventually gives the diary to Terence Gray. In the diary, Rebecca recounts her life at Manderley and her past, addressing it to the child she believes she is carrying, as she thinks she is 4 months pregnant. She writes that when she first saw Manderley, she knew it was meant for her. She first met Max when she was 14 at an event at Manderley, attending with her Aunt Evangeline. Maxim didn't pay much attention to her at first, but by their second meeting when she was a woman, she became Maxim's fiancé. She claims he was deeply in love with her. They never had a wedding but told people they did. When she came to Manderley, she transformed the estate and hosted wonderful parties. Her diary was unfinished, which means there must be another notebook. The fourth part is narrated by Ellie. She discovers that Mrs. Danvers, Rebecca's very loyal servant, is still living in Rebecca's flat. When Ellie arrives, a very ill Mrs. Danvers mistakes her for Rebecca. It is revealed that Mrs. Danvers was the one who burned Manderley down because she believed she was following Rebecca's orders. Ellie's theories are confirmed when Maxim's second wife visits to deliver Rebecca's third notebook. She has been the one delivering the notebooks because she feels she should thank Arthur Julian for keeping silent, even though he suspected Maxim killed Rebecca. The second wife confirms that Maxim did kill Rebecca, shooting her in the chest, straight to the heart, because Rebecca provoked him by telling him she was pregnant with another man's child who would be the heir. The third notebook that was delivered was not empty, but the pages were ripped to make the words unreadable. It was a letter to Maxim, but they never got the chance to read it. Arthur Julian died peacefully after a joyful lunch with Ellie, Rose, his sister, Tom, Nick, Tom's friend, and Francis, his doctor. The book ends with Ellie selling the house to Francis and leaving for Cambridge. Relevant scenes. Rebecca's mother is Isolde, sister to Evangeline and Virginia. Virginia was married to Lionel de Winter. Isolde was sent abroad after it was discovered that Lionel was pursuing her. The 3 sisters, known as the 3 Graces, were famous for their beauty. Because Lionel and Isolde had an affair, Rebecca feared she might be his daughter but was relieved to learn she was not. Rebecca and Maxim are therefore cousins, although he does not know this. When Rebecca first came to Manderley and Kerith, no one remembered her, not even her cousins Jocelyn and Eleanor, with whom she lived for a while. Arthur also did not acknowledge her. The only person who knew her was Maxim's grandmother, with whom she got along very well. Rebecca was said to have an evil eye because the men who wronged her died in the way she wished. Tom believed that May, the woman who adopted him and was a friend of Rebecca, protected him from Rebecca's curse since every man who came her way suffered misfortune. During their investigation, Ellie fell in love with Tom Galbraith but was later told they could only be friends. Ellie had thought Tom was in love with his best friend's late wife, Julia, but it was revealed that Tom was actually in love with his best friend, Nick. Ellie grew closer to Frances, who proposed to her, but she declined and chose to study at Cambridge. That was the end of the novel. However, I had some questions. During the second Mrs. De Winter's confession that Maxim killed Rebecca, Ellie hesitated because there were inconsistencies. "Mrs. De Winter," said Maxim shot Rebecca in the heart, and there was a lot of blood, but Ellie knew it isn't bloody when the heart is shot. Ellie wondered if Mrs. De Winter could be lying. Was she really lying? This part leaves Ellie's theories unanswered. When Tom, Arthur, and Ellie went to Manderley, Ellie noticed a window had been forcibly dislocated. Arthur also saw a figure at Rebecca's boathouse. On another visit, Tom saw a wreath of azalea on the boathouse and was sure that whoever left it was the same person Arthur saw. However, when Mrs. De Winter said she was the one who left the flowers, did that also mean she was the one who left the tracks on Manderley and dislocated the windows? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the summary, drop a comment and subscribe. Book links in my bio. Check out my other videos for more reads. See you next time.